on the News Channel 5 network. This is Score on Business.
Hey, welcome to Score on Business. I'm Pete Hendricks, your host today and a serial entrepreneur. Many prospective entrepreneurs aren't sure where to start, and we'll provide a tip on each show. Also, Score offers low-cost classes and no-charge counseling specifically to guide folks through thinking about starting and succeeding in business. More information is available at scorenashville.org. Make sure to click on the Workshops tab at the top of the page. They're usually a half day, mainly on weekends, and are $25. Your tip for this show: differentiation is important. What can you do to set yourself apart from the competition? Now, let's get to our first guest. Jason Gries is founder and CEO of bitetime and is focused on delivering a variety of restaurant quality cuisines to businesses and organizations for breakfast and lunch. Cuisine types include Chinese, Mexican, Italian, and American. Jason, thanks for being here.
My pleasure, Pete.
Yeah, so, entrepreneurs need to think strategically when they are formulating a business idea. Part of that is finding an underserved market or a way to differentiate in an existing market. And can you tell us a little bit about you going through this exercise for bitetime?
Sure. For bitetime and for many companies, I believe it's really a journey to find your product market fit, which is what I like to view as that place in the market where you have a product or a service that your customers are needing to solve a problem and are willing to pay for. For us, it took several years to really find that. We actually started our company back in 2012 as a company named Fu Manchu. And we were a technology-focused business. We built an online ordering platform for basically selling Chinese food to the consumer market. And when we looked at the opportunity in front of us, the good news was we picked a market that was very attractive to us and ripe for change. The Chinese food market's about $20 billion. There's over 60,000 Asian restaurants in the U.S., and it's a market that's kind of been notorious for the reputation of some poor quality and some poor service levels. So we were in the right market, but we were trying to find our way on what the real opportunity was. We started as a consumer brand with that online ordering platform, and over time we figured out that actually catering to businesses for Chinese food was a sweet spot for us. And we adjusted the company. It took us 2 years to get to this point, but about 3 years ago we adjusted the company to create our own menu, our brand, our pricing, promotion structure, and service, where we actually have been able to deliver Chinese food primarily to businesses, over 600 customers that we have today in 9 cities. As that process of iterating on our business model is really the reason I view us as still in business today, willingness to change. And even today, we're making further changes.
Right. So it's, it's really important to be able to recognize where you're going and to pivot as needed.
Yep. And we've just made a recent pivot in the last few months where we now have actually installed our own commercial catering kitchens, and we're delivering our food, Fu Manchu plus other brands out of our kitchens, which really helps us take our service and quality and provide a variety of cuisines to our customers that they're looking for each and every day.
Right. So part of the journey there, and this kind of goes into the next question, so let me read that and then I'll clarify if need. So differentiation is critical when entering a market with a lot of competition, which is the case with bitetime. Can you tell us about your thinking and approach to this? And in answering that question, you started roughly 5 years ago. So during that time, you saw places in the market that were either underserved or there was opportunity. So can you tell us about the differentiation?
Yeah. You're correct in what you say. The market for on-demand food service and delivery is a huge market. There is a lot of competition from existing restaurants, from technology companies, and so forth. For us, our value proposition is very simple. We provide what we like to say fresh, tasty, piping hot food delivered on time with a smile. sounds very simple, but it's actually very complex to execute on, and that's our differentiating factor, is the execution piece.
Yes.
As you know, Pete, I worked for GE in my early career, and I assembled jet engines as one of the assignments at GE, and this isn't rocket science dealing with food, but a lot of the same principles apply. And if we kind of unpack that a little bit, when we look at it, fresh for us is really our supply chain. It's the ingredients that we source at a very cost competitive nature to make sure that we have the right ingredients in our product for our customers. The tasty is basically research and development. Our executive chef works very hard to design the spices and the rubs and the sauces that make our brands like Fu Manchu and El Pepe's Mexican come to life.
Which I think that's so important, because in catered meals that I've had, it's great when it comes off the stove, but it loses something over time. And so you're putting R&D specifically into that. And one thing I like is variety that you have. When I look back over my career, most catered business lunches have been a sandwich or pizza, and that was really it. And so part of what you saw was the need to be able to expand, I guess.
We've taken engineering to our menus. So you talk about sandwiches as an example. We've got a sandwich salad brand, but for us, we use wraps, because we also have tortilla wraps that we use in our burritos and so forth. But we also have a breakfast brand where we use breakfast burritos. So we look at the ingredients and we keep that very slimmed down, and it cuts across our menu. So we really engineered our menus for maximum efficiency, great taste, and it gives the variety to customers that they're not used to getting today through different cuisines.
And so how do you get this delivered to them?
Yeah, so we have what we call our brand ambassadors, which is our resources that actually go to the kitchens. They pick up the food. On-time delivery is extremely important for us. Our customers cannot afford to have food show up late for business meetings and so forth. So for us, we look at things such as traffic patterns and delivery drive times and walk times, setup time. We back into the time that our brand ambassadors need to actually leave the kitchens with the food. They're in warmers, they're tightly wrapped so the heat stays in, and that gets them there on time at the customer's location. So we use our own resources to deliver a lot of our food.
So, okay, so what you were kind of, sounds like you've hired your own people to do delivery, and why that? There's other folks that would do it.
Yeah, so for us, catering is a high-end service. When you go on site, these are large orders. They could be up to hundreds of people in some cases. Food has to be set up, it has to be well organized, ready to eat, so that when folks are at a business meeting, they're jumping in and productive with the food that they're eating. So for us, it's not just that you could have like an Uber Eats or someone, a delivery driver, take your food. These brand ambassador positions are very professional services that we provide.
Awesome. So one thing for business, customer focus is critical, and part of customer focus is determining who the customer is, followed by a heavy focus on adding value there. So tell us about that with Bite Time.
When we transitioned from consumer focus to business catering focus, for us it was very easy to pinpoint who our customer was. It really becomes the office manager or the executive assistants that are at these companies that are doing the food ordering. Now, with that being said, there's a lot of influencers in the mix. You've got the busy executives that have certain types of food that they want to eat. They want consistency. You have the team members, the employees that are enjoying the food. For us, quality is mandatory. It's a prerequisite. Without it, you're not going to last long in this marketplace. So we've got to have quality, fresh and tasty built in. And then from there, it's really all about building trust with these office managers. We want to make food fun and easy, simple for these office administrators to either call, order online, even text in their order to us, and then we handle it from there. We have our customer service team. We call them concierges. They're really focused on building the relationships with these customers to make sure that we satisfy their needs.
Awesome. And so also that you all are there for the traditional catering, but also are talking to companies about improving the providing lunch for their employees once a week or something, and doing some things to both enhance efficiency and productivity.
Absolutely. Many companies that are focused on the culture and the environment of the workplace provide lunches as a benefit to their employees. We call them pop-up lunches, and we are engaged with those businesses to provide great service and great food for their employees to enjoy on a regular basis.
Jason, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, Pete. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back.